Hey, what's up guys, it's Red here with another Fire Emblem mythology, this one being on Solm. Also, if you're subbed thanks to the Chainsaw Man videos, stay tuned for Christmas Eve. So anyways, make sure to leave a comment down below if you have any feedback or recommendations for future videos. I enjoy reading them even if I might not reply. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. Over like 90% of my viewers aren't subscribed, so make sure to hit the subscribe button to help me reach 500 subscribers and many more. Subscribing is free and you could always unsubscribe later. Also make sure to check out my Ko-Fi if you really enjoy the content and want to help support me and this channel. I make $0 right now from these videos, so any donation helps. It isn't necessary, but I'd really appreciate it, and your message will be shown and perhaps even read at the end of mythology videos like this one. So anyways, let's get started with the queendom itself. Solm is known as the Queendom of Freedom. Yes, Solm is a queendom. While the other kingdoms do let women rulers like Firene and eventually Elugia, Solm strictly has only let women to be rulers. Solm is a desert country with people settled in its many oases. They are very welcoming and open for people to come live in Solm, allowing the country to thrive. They border Elugia, who they have a relatively neutral relationship with before the events of the game. And they border Firene, whom Solm has a great relationship with and non-aggression pacts with. The divine dragon Lumerra gave Solm 2 emblem rings, the ring of the radiant hero Ike, and the ring of the crux of fate, Corrin. The word Solm doesn't really have any connection or meaning in real life, but the name probably comes from the word Sol, which means sun in Latin, Spanish, Portuguese, Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish. This could fit because Solm is a desert, so lots of sun. Also, before we go on, it's pretty funny how the characters from the desert country are named after different Italian desserts. So anyways, now on to the Queen of Solm, Queen Seforia. Her English name is a variation of the name Sephora, which comes from the name Zipporah, who was the wife of Moses in the Bible. However, her Japanese name is Sfoglia, which is an uncut fresh pasta sheet. However, her name could also come from sfogliatella, which is a shell-shaped pastry with a sweet or creamy filling that originated in Italy, specifically the Campania region. In Fire Emblem, Queen Seforia is a free-spirited and generous person. While she could be a bit careless, like forgetting where Emblem Ike's ring was located when Timerra was the one who had it, Queen Seforia is still courageous and will never bow down to evil. Seforia wants a peaceful Elios without any strife. So now, onto Queen Seforia's daughter, the Crown Princess Timerra, who gets her name from tiramisu, which is a dessert made using ladyfingers, a pastry which is dipped into coffee, which is then layered with a mixture of whipped egg yolks, sugar, and mascarpone. Mascarpone is a soft Italian acid-set cream cheese, by the way. Then, cocoa powder is used to flavor the tiramisu. Tiramisu is an Italian dessert that is disputed to have come from either Veneto or Friuli Venezia Giulia, which are regions in Italy. Also, one of Makima's dogs from Chainsaw Man was called Tiramisu. God, I wish I was tiramisu there. I mean, in Fire Emblem, Timerra is the crown princess who is friendly and a free spirit like her mother. Timerra and her retainers usually spend time outside the palace to help her people and to have fun. She loves her family and has a close bond with her mother and brother. She usually goes camping to see the stars outside. She loves to sing and help her people personally by being with them and living amongst them. So now onto Timerra's older brother, Prince Fogado. He gets his name from the dessert affogato, with the full name being affogato alla caffè, which means drowned in coffee, which perfectly describes the dessert as it is a scoop of gelato or ice cream that's either plain milk flavored or vanilla, which is then topped up with hot espresso. The direct origins of affogato are unknown, but the dessert gained popularity in Italy during the 1950s. In Fire Emblem, Fogado is the Prince of Solm, and like his mother and older sister, Fogado is carefree and friendly. And because he won't be the ruler of Solm, he became a traveler and the leader of Solm's vigilante group, the Sentinels, who go around helping those in need. Fogado wants to protect his people and wants to be a positive influence to the people of Solm. So now onto the retainers, starting with Timerra's first retainer, being Merrin, who gets her name from meringue, which is made with whipped egg whites and sugar, which some recipes occasionally include an acidic ingredient like lemon, cream of tartar, or vinegar. I'm purposefully mispronouncing vinegar because I don't want the internet to get the full correct pronunciation. Anyways, adding a binding agent like salt, flour, or gelatin may be added to the egg whites. Meringue is said to be Swiss. Well, the one that we know of today. It is stated that the dessert existed before, but the Swiss version is the more modern one, and there are French and Italian variations of meringue as well. In Fire Emblem, Merrin is the daughter of one of the chiefs of one of Solm's villages, and eventually she would take her mother's position to be the chief of her village. However, Merrin wanted to be a knight, So she became one of Timerra's retainers until she'd eventually become chief. Merrin herself is pretty eccentric and has a cool exterior. She is an animal lover at heart and loves meeting and seeing different animals, even exotic ones. Merrin also feels this way with dragons, like Alir and Vale. So now onto Timerra's other retainer, Panette. She gets her name from panettone, which is a type of sweetbread and fruitcake, which means panettone uses nuts and different dried fruits in it. It comes from Italy, specifically Milan, and it is usually prepared and enjoyed during Christmas and New Year's in basically most of the world. It is pretty similar to another dessert which I'll actually be talking about later in this video. In Fire Emblem, Panette didn't come from a good home, as her parents weren't good people, as her father was a drunkard and her mother was a corrupt priestess. So she ran away with her older brother. Panette would take out her anger by fighting people like bandits, which, thanks to that, she met Timerra and befriended her without even knowing that she was the princess. And eventually Panette became Timerra's retainer. Panette is polite and usually reserved. However, in battle, she's more wild and loves the battle, as she uses the immense fury she gets from hating her parents against her enemies. So now onto Panette's older brother, and the first retainer of Fogado, being Pandreo, which his name comes from Pandoro, which is a sweetbread that is typically in an 8-pointed shape that is often topped up with powdered sugar / icing sugar. This Italian dessert is typically a product of the city Verona, which is in Veneto, Italy. It is typically made and consumed during Christmas and New Year's, and it is similar to panettone, which I talked about. It's pretty fitting that the siblings have their names' origins be pretty similar desserts. In Fire Emblem, Pandreo comes from the same situation as his younger sister, of course. However, he eventually separated from his sister and returned to being a priest at their family's church after her parents quote-unquote disappeared. And while working at the church, he meets Fogado. Pandreo tells Fogado about his missing sister, who coincidentally became Timerra's retainer. So, Fogado offered Pandreo to be one of his retainers. Pandreo is a party animal. He loves to party and even howls like a wolf. His lively spirit makes him the life of the party and even acts this way during his church services. So now, onto the last retainer of Fogado, being Bunet, whose name comes from Bunet or Bunet, a custard dessert that's prepared similarly to flan. But Bunet adds cocoa powder and amaretto, which is a sweet Italian liqueur. This dessert is said to be from Piedmonte, which is located in northern Italy. In Fire Emblem, Bunet and his family owned a bistro at one of Solm's port towns. Bunet eventually met Fogado and spoke with him for long periods of time while Fogado visited Bunet's bistro. However, one day the village was attacked and the bistro was destroyed, ending with the deaths of his parents. Bunet became a mercenary afterwards. He eventually went on a competition to be a royal chef and was chosen by Fogado to join them. Bunet is a passionate chef, wanting to rebuild his family's bistro in the near future. He's ecstatic about cooking, and even if his methods are strange, he will do anything to advance his culinary experience. So now onto the final character of Solm, the famed dancer and fortune teller, Seadall, who gets his name from Sida, or more known by its plural form, Sidas. Sidas are a savory dessert that are made from frying a large semolina dumpling in olive oil or lard, which the dumpling is filled with soured pecorino romano and lemon peel. Then it is usually topped with honey, sugar, and sometimes salt. Sidas originate in Sardinia, Italy, which Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea. In Fire Emblem, Seadall is a famous dancer and fortune teller who learned his fortune tellers from his now deceased mother. And after his parents died when he was young, he was picked up by a traveling caravan to perform the arts like his dancing and fortune telling. Seadall has this mysterious aura, and he could be harsh, but he is usually kind to those he likes. He is strict with his diet and habit due to wanting to be perfect for his dancing, even though he wishes to quit those diets to eat whatever he wants. Seadall also likes using his fortune telling to try to help those around him. So that was a Fire Emblem mythology on Solm. Hopefully you all enjoyed it enough to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to help support me and this channel, check out my Ko-Fi. Any little bit helps, and your message will most likely be read and shown at this section of the video. Next video will be on Elios, so stay tuned. So thanks for watching.